All right. Hey, it is Wednesday and it is our midweek recap for Ready to Love. I am obviously not at my house. I am at my daughter's house, which is super cool. My daughter is a DJ, in case you guys don't know. If anyone is ever in need of a really dope DJ, please, please, please hit me up. My daughter, her DJ name is Nell Does It. So she's super dope. And I'm actually in her studio. So you see, she has like a vibe here because I guess DJs like to have the vibe kind of be down and mood, like to create the mood. But I am here because we are going to an event together. So I thought, well, let me go ahead and go live from her house. So yes, so join, come on in. I'm going to bring my co-host in because he'll understand the music vibes. Let me bring in my co-host. What's up, Scorpio Mo?
What's the word? How are you?
I am good. I'm in Chanel's studio. I'm in her home studio,
Okay.
and I'm excited. Like I wish I could show more of what she has going on here. We've got the piano, she's got her Serato, all her little mixer stuff set up here. It's cool. But yeah, so I thought I would just, we could go live. And first of all, I know we got a really good episode coming up on Friday, right?
Right.
But I thought let's go ahead and just kind of recap. We talked about this on Friday. Let's kind of recap what happened this season so that we can kind of be ready for the dramatics that are going to happen on Friday. So I thought this would be a good time for us to just kind of recap all the interviews that we've done, all the things that have happened, even the things that we witnessed from the ladies at the event, at the
Right.
Under the Mistletoe event. Let's just kind of catch up with all that. So let me ask you this first to start this off. Is this show ending up the way you thought it was when we initially started doing the recaps for the show?
No, no, no. I wasn't. I'm be honest with you. I wasn't sure what to expect,
Okay.
but at the same time, I didn't expect them to the back and the pulling in and bringing back out like that
Yeah.
thing me in
Yeah.
a good way because I think it made it entertaining.
It definitely makes it entertaining. And I guess that is really also how life works when you are dating. Because a lot of times I know for me, I dated somebody, and then a lot of times we spin the block, right? Because, you think at the time I might not have given them enough of a chance. I might have been going through something. I might have been, and then you end up giving the person another chance or you guys meet up somewhere. So,
Or or could it be I ain't really got nothing popping right now, and I know you like me, and it can occupy my time until something else comes. You know what I mean?
hmm.
Could it be a situation like that?
I think it definitely could. So let's just talk about what we got going on.
Okay.
Um, let's start with Ashley because I feel like Ashley was the first person that I felt like let somebody go and should not have let them go.
Gotcha.
Um, so with Donald and Ashley, like you guys remember when Ashley and Donald had the first real, to me, like connection on both sides, right?
Right.
Um, and then they went on that date, and then Ashley let him go because of his communication. I think I think more than it not being anybody that anything else she had going on, I think she really liked him, and I think she really let him go prematurely. What do you
And
think?
yeah, maybe after a while being away from him, and um I don't know how long it was between them because at some point they still stayed in contact. But was there
Yeah,
that kind of missed that, and then that's what got the communication going?
she
Is that
said that she when she came on the show, she said that he was reaching out to her every day. So I kind of am like, why did you kick him off but you were still open to talking to him? That's what I don't get. Like all the ladies, even with Maurice, when Sharice let Maurice go, is it really more about the game of the show, or is this really like how you would move in real life? Because to me, if you kick him off, that means I'm over it. Like I wonder if
I'm blaming
Vernita,
the host for that.
yeah, I think we should post that before Friday.
I think the host is on the one with Sharice, with her and Maurice, because she was like, I got somebody I want to bring back just to see. But as far as Ashley goes, I just think that whatever, her reason wasn't Bible. Nobody, I ain't gonna say it wasn't Bible, but it wasn't just over that, just didn't seem, you know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then he was to show you, and I guess one has an Android and one has a iPhone, and whatever signals got crossed or didn't get crossed, and no one,
That's why I felt like it was kind of capped, because if you have, I feel like almost like we don't know what's for the show and what's for real. So in real life, if somebody has an Android and you have an iPhone, and he says that he tried to text you,
right.
and he has proof in his phone that he did, at that point, it's to me like it's no longer an issue.
Well, if you don't want to take accountability, it's still gonna be an issue.
That could be true. That could be true.
But ask you this though. So okay, so she did that with him, and then she went out with the other guy, and he didn't fight for it. But the other guy, she doubled back now, because the other guy, I guess him calling back was him fighting for it.
Kirsten?
Yeah, Kirsten didn't, but the whole time, I guess the other guy was. So he wins.
Yeah, Donald, because she said that. But this is my thing. All right, let's just get into it. And I'm interested to see what the chat thinks. What do you guys think? Because Kirsten, I feel like with Donald, the communication was the only thing you said you had an issue with, right? Now, later when he came back, she said there was an issue. She didn't know that he didn't tell her that he was married when he was younger.
Right.
But with Kirsten, there were several issues. Number one, you basically fell out with your girl because you felt like he was trying to holler at her. Or no, maybe she felt like Stormy was flirting. Right. But from what we saw, the flirting wasn't going one way. I you know what I mean? To me, it felt like Kirsten was encouraging the flirting.
Yeah, it was almost like they were on a date and she was invisible, because I was like, and she was like,
and I think production probably put the 10 on the 2 with that. Okay. I do want to say that Stormy was very upset and very hurt by what happened, and said that wasn't the case. But okay, so that's one issue. To me, that's a much bigger issue than communication. Then he just seemed very disinterested. Now, I will say this. The reason that I feel like he was disinterested, because I think he was, going along. But I think for me, Ashley continuing to say, what are you going to do to keep me here? I have other choices, and what are we doing? And do you want to be here for me? And constantly saying that, I feel like that's what made Kirsten kind of pull back. And then when she was like, well, I've decided to go in, I mean, she gave him this long diatribe about why she decided to go in a different direction. Right. And I feel like at the point that he was like, okay, he was just tired and he was over it. Right. So okay. Did you take a swig just like he took a swig? Okay. Okay. All right. So it's interesting to me how he even is welcomed back with so much energy, outside of the fact that Ashley has acknowledged that she's very attracted to him.
I call flag on the play, because if you're putting this man in this position to say what we are, and you only got eyes for me, but meanwhile you talking to Buddy.
So you're saying that but that's the whole show. The ladies.
No. But what I'm saying is, why would you put somebody else and tell them they need to give you an answer? That's the part I don't. And that's some real life stuff, by the way, that I know. Like, you put me in the position, but you don't put yourself in the same position. And it's only because I don't know.
Well, again, I feel like all the ladies are saying that this is their time to be in control. This is their show. This show is about their pick.
Okay.
So I feel like they are taking advantage of the fact that they feel like the tables, the dynamics makes the issue in their control. But if
Okay.
that's the case, then why are we bringing back people that have shown us that they're not into us? Now we do know from talking to all the ladies on here except for Zadia
Right.
that um, there aren't a lot of picks, right?
Right.
There are not a lot of good. There are not a lot of really quality picks. But I also feel like, again, this is an example of real life because you could say that you have all the options, but at the end of the day, unless these guys are trying to make you their one, do you really have a lot of options?
That's true. That's a good point. But the other thing is, do you think the guys had enough time to get their mindset on
No.
what they initially thought the show was compared to what the show was, the premise of it when they, you know what I'm saying?
No, I feel like two things. I feel like the guys did not have a chance to really get to know what the show is. And for anybody that is not aware, the guys, because I know this is true because I'd had friends that were trying out for the show. They were they were led to believe that this was just another version of Ready to Love. So they're thinking that they're going to have more options. They're also believing that the women are going to be in New Orleans. Like, so this idea of not only am I dating someone that doesn't live here, so the reality of us being a couple is kind of, it's fantasy. It's not reality because of that. And then also the fact that they didn't know that there were only going to be four women.
That's what.
Um, so and let's just say this. And again, I want to know what the chat thinks about this. When you're on Ready to Love, you have the opportunity to date all 10 of the women if they're interested, right?
Right.
This show, you're brought in through one person. And what if you get there and you're more physically attracted to someone else? You can't really make a move without looking like a snake, which we saw, which we'll talk about in a minute with Mizelle and Bernicia
Right.
and Sharice. But the
Right.
reality is, if the men are thinking that this is like Ready to Love, nobody brings you in to date the one person that you saw.
Thank you. So the premise, that they were sold one thing, but then, you know what I mean? So that I just want people to kind of consider that. And I don't know how long they had to like switch that around.
Yeah, I don't think very long. And then I also just don't think men move as quickly as women. Even on Ready to Love, we see the guys are not as quick to jump in and lock something down as, as sometimes the women are. And I think that is again true to life. So when you're dating a person, and that's my frustration with watching Ashley, because she's like, are you here for me or do you not want to be here for me? Because if not, then you can go home. It's kind of like, sis, give him a chance to get to know you so that there is something. So he does is it can begin to get invested in you. Stop being so quick. And I think that women, period, when we're dating, we have to allow a man to get to know us, get to know all of us before we start making demands.
But let me ask you this, but was that the mistake that they made on their are they correcting the mistake that they made on their own Ready to Love show, and then they get here and they're switching it up, or is it just more the same?
Well, I think they are trying, specifically with Ashley. Ashley had a very bad situation initially. The guy that she ended up liking. But let me just say this: if we're going to be honest, those people that remember the first season of Ready to Love, that was totally different. Even though Ashley did end up, getting hurt, because the guy that she was into wasn't really into her at first. He was into another young lady named Tiffany. And Tiffany and Ashley were total opposites. And when he and Tiffany kept going back and forth and he didn't like her attitude, then he kind of like gave up on that and pivoted to Ashley. My thing to all the women out here watching, because I feel like people watch this show because this is a great way to like look at dating. Never let a man make you second. if you know him and you see that he's initially, because the person he's first attracted to is the one that he's going to want to be with. Now, if that doesn't work and you're on a show, it's almost like he'll take a consolation prize to stay on the show and stay relevant, but you don't ever want to be somebody's consolation prize.
And in real life, you'll never get the energy the other woman would have got. You'll never get that, unfortunately. But that's great advice, actually. That's real life, So if you're in the, like you said, if you're in the situation and he loved this woman and she's on the fence now and he's trying to get back in, but he winds up, she says no, and he's like, well, I guess I'll talk to you now, and you'll never get that.
It's giving the energy of we ain't getting no younger, we might as well do this. I hate that line.
Yeah.
We ain't getting no younger, we might as well do. No, that suggests that you really don't want to do it, but you have ran out your free card and you probably are not in the best position, because you always have told me that when a man will make the best choice when he's in the best situation.
He would. And then, unfortunately, I'll say women, because I don't know if women play the game, but I know men do. Old Faithful. Woo. Now that, I get older, I gotten older, and I look at that, it's a real messed up spot to put someone in, or sometimes even put yourself in, because you're watching the actions of this man. You're seeing the only time he calls you, the only time he gets together is when it's at a time of need. You know what I mean? Not when he's having fun. It's always something else. So, that number two person might be that and don't even know it. But you gotta look at those signs. You do.
All right. Well, let's move on. From Ashley to let's move on to Sharice, because Sharice, I feel like, and I think I see a lot of the comments before earlier this week when we talked, last Friday.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about, now that Maurice is back, the way the two of them, I really do feel like, even after talking to Sharice, we haven't talked to Maurice, but hopefully we will. I did see that Maurice chimed in and said he does have billboards. And I said, good for him.
We weren't questioning it. We just wanted to know, was it true?
I felt as if he did. I just didn't know if the person that saw them really saw what they saw, but we never questioned it. He's obviously a very successful man, which is a great thing. And I think that's also very rare on these reality shows, to see men who really have success in their career. A lot of times these guys are not what they say they are. We've seen that on a lot of episodes. I'm very skeptical on careers on reality shows. So kudos to Maurice and kudos to Tabari, who Vernisha stood up for and basically co-signed that he really is who he says he is. But I feel like Sharice, the only person in this cast that she has any connection with, to me, that feels realistic, is Maurice. Really? And yeah, who do you think?
So far, I didn't see any. I just thought he was the better pick on paper, but I don't see.
Who else would it be?
Nobody. I just didn't see the connection. I saw that she was open to, but I didn't see the connection on his end. I seen her trying to be open for it, but I didn't see him locking in or trying to lock in. I mean, we'll see now, but prior to that, no.
So you're saying that, okay, so what other option do you think would have been a possibility for her?
What we saw, it was a close until homie got drunk, but
I doubt.
But nah.
Izzy?
Izzy, right. Him, Izzy. But no, nobody. No, I just think, what's the name? Maurice at the time was the best on paper. And I know, we know how women are. Well, what's your name? Where you from? What do you do?
I think he was also attracted to him. And I feel like
No, that's, obvious. Yeah, I mean, that's the first thing. but I just think attraction, what he does, how he carries himself on paper. But what about him giving that energy towards her? Did we see that? Be honest.
Okay, hold on. Chanel, you see the text message I just sent you? No. Okay. Just tell her I'm in the back. Okay, so
remember why she let him go. There was a reason. Don't forget that.
But there are a lot of people that are in relationships and don't really have great like conversational chemistry.
You are making excuses, Christal Jordan.
No.
You are.
You don't think that?
No, I mean, like maybe now and maybe after he's separated, he's going to bring that energy. But prior to that, come on. Me and you both couldn't wait to see him leave, Christal.
No, you're right. I'm just saying that nothing else came that was good.
That's what I'm saying. We can't.
I'm sorry. That scared me.
I'm not saying moving forward, you can't have that. But what we saw thus far, no.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on. He looked the best on paper, though.
I think he looks the best in person.
No, that's what I mean on paper. Like, if you check down looks, you check down this, he looks the best on paper on everything. But in person, when they were interacting prior, that's the reason why she let him go. We can't forget that.
But do you think her personality is one that's used to like good conversation all the time? Because he could have been like, well, you know what? Bad conversation wasn't necessarily just on me.
Well, I think, Keith didn't think that. None of the other gentlemen felt that. They were talkative to her. Hell, even Mizell. And she was like, this is refreshing. I know you're trying to save your girl. And
no,
I like
no, you're just saying that. And you're gonna make the chat say that. I'm not trying to save that. I'm not trying to save her. I'm just saying I think her and I think she would rather sit quietly with Maurice than
I think now, after she done had a couple duds and they spinning the block, you'd be like, you know what? This ain't bad after all.
Just the flirting with Nick just didn't feel like that's really her.
Oh yeah, that definitely seemed a little for her.
It just don't feel. I mean, I think she was clear. She's very attracted to him. She's very attracted to him. But first of all, I don't think that's her style. I think that may be what she's attracted to. I don't think that's the vibe that she gives off.
Right.
I don't think that's what's going to work for her. Sometimes we can be attracted to something that's not for us. There
you go. Trust me, I know. I know.
I'm just, I think she would rather sit quietly with Maurice than
now. Yes. And then maybe that's what it took.
Maybe she only sent him home because she was supposed. I'm kind of starting to think the production be playing games with us. Like maybe they wanted to create some issues, so they made her send him home, knowing they were going to bring him back. That's kind of where I'm at. I don't even know if she really would have sent him home.
It might have been that. It might have been a situation where we saw the edit, how they edited it, and it just made it look like. But she did say he wasn't talking.
She did say that. She did. But then she also said she enjoyed it. And you pointed out something I didn't pay attention to. You pointed out that she said that when he comes to Miami.
Right. Right. And I was like, because even the chat was saying she knows an awful lot. I was like, yeah, because she was like, yeah, when he knows this in town and when he sees the Heat games, and I was like, well, the Heat plays in Miami. They don't really, So I was like, okay. So things happen. Because he comes off way cooler on his Instagram than he did on the actual show. I don't know what everybody does though. I don't know if it was the cameras or the whole.
It's the edit. I mean, I don't think edit creates stuff, but I think the edit is going to magnify those things that they know are going to make for conversation pieces, right?
But and not swagger and demeanor. Like he's clean face on there. You go to his Instagram, he got the goatee. You be like, who is? It's like Urkel. It's where Urkel
and Stephon Urkel.
I was like, who is this dude? This is not the
That's
dude.
hilarious. That is hilarious. Urkel and Stefan Urkel.
That's how it looked to me. I'm
Steve
just like,
Urkel versus Stefan Urkel.
I'm just saying, man.
Y'all let us know in the chat which one you think is the real representation for Maurice. Is it Maurice or is it Mauricio? Oh man. Okay. All right. Let's go because I know we gotta wrap this up quicker
Okay,
because I gotta go to this Christmas party. But
where we at?
um, let's go to Vernicia.
Niche. Okay.
Let me ask you this. So we talked about the fact that other people are spinning the block.
Right.
Do you see it at all possible for Vernicia to spin the block with Jabari?
I would love that, to be honest with you.
Why?
Because I think at times the reason why opposites work is because the other person grounds you.
I agree with that.
I don't know if it's time for that in her life though. But at some point we need, you see what I'm saying?
But you're right. You have to be at a time where you appreciate that.
Right. There you go. And I don't know if it's her time, but I like him for that.
I can see that. I don't know if it's time.
No, I don't think it's time, but I do like him. But even if they did spin the block, it'll be a waste of time because I don't think it's time.
She don't want him right now. She may not ever, because some people never get to that point where they want that.
You don't think?
I don't think everybody does.
Okay.
Not everybody. I mean,
You're right.
but not everybody. There's some people that, I got girlfriends that are, almost 50 and they are still want to be out of the club. I know some that are over 50 and they want to be out in the club all the time.
Turned 70 and they like, and I'm related.
If you turn 70 and you want to be in the club, you are just for the streets.
Just want to be on the go. She don't want to be tied down to nothing. That's how she like to live.
Yeah, it's a lot of people like that. So I mean, sometimes it's not about age; it's just about personality.
And it's usually free-spirited people, by the way.
Here we go.
We'll talk about that another time. But yeah.
What do you think about her? And so, do you think her best option is Tabari? Because I feel like her and Jabari had a better rapport.
Yeah. I think if what's the name had his life, if they would switch, I think so. But nah. To be honest with you, if he was honest, I think it would have been myself.
You think so?
If he would have been honest and came in right, I think it would have been myself. That just seems to, but it's too much other stuff that went on. But yeah, I do. I honestly do. If he was going to be right.
That's a good point. Because I do think she was initially attracted. I mean, he's not a bad looking man. I'm a little concerned about the accusations that she made about the hygiene.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's true or not. I don't know. Anybody can have a bad day. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
But I like that. What he does, how he moves, how he carries himself. I like that.
I thought he was very personable compared to some of the other guys. Seems very confident. The only thing I worry about with Mizell is him being that age and never having really been close to even marriage. I think he, you know what, to your point though, that could be a better fit.
I don't like when y'all say that because somebody else got canceled because of that. Who? And I don't think he's ever ready. It was another gentleman that they said that about. I think that's an unfair shot to men. I mean, if they haven't found it yet, they haven't found it yet. And to be charged for that is kind of like crazy.
Okay, but let me ask you this. There are a lot of guys that are attractive because obviously everybody thinks he's an attractive man. Attractive, and you get and they enjoy talking to women and going after women, but they never and they entertain women, but they never settle down. You don't think that's an issue that sometimes they like the chase, but not the reality of actually what the chase brings? I think these are men that like to chase. They like being chased. They like being the object of women's affection, but they don't really want to settle down with a woman.
I don't necessarily subscribe to that. I think if the right one came, we would. Now, I would say that it's not that. It's you don't know which one is the right woman.
But
It's
if
not.
your brand, if the brand of who you are is
Uh,
constantly, because and I'm just saying from what we've heard, right?
yeah,
Mizell works at a school. We heard some people in the chat saying that he's, a favorite with the moms. And I
right.
don't think there's any shortage of women. I
Right.
think that,
But
he just
those
go
are
ahead.
just those are numbers.
Yeah, but if you've gotten to be that age,
Uh,
do you think it's really you can't always say it's somebody else.
it's not somebody else. It doesn't make these people bad people.
I'm not saying a bad person. I'm just saying maybe he don't really want that. Maybe he enjoys being chased or chasing more, because really getting in a relationship and settling down, he may have the FOBO, fear of a better offer. Like he's always hoping he can get a better looking woman, a younger, better looking woman.
Right now, that might be it, but it still doesn't mean that he doesn't want to love and be with one woman.
But if you really are always out there looking, that's not the attitude of a person
No,
that's
no, no.
in love.
You're right. You're right. On that note, you're right. Yeah, that's not the attitude, but maybe even
That's what
doing.
I'm not saying it's a bad person. I think a lot of men and women are like that.
Right.
Because you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And sometimes it's like, well, maybe I could get something better. But a lot of times that's because you haven't made peace with yourself and you're still thinking that who you're with is going to make you look a certain way. You're not really focused on the inside of people. You're still looking at a person as an arm piece. So that is an attitude and behavior that will keep you single.
Right. But you said doesn't want to be single though. He wants to be single.
Well, my granny used to say, when you get enough, you'll stop.
There it is.
And maybe so if you got that attitude and that attitude is bringing you constantly, that attitude is constantly having you moving around. When you get enough, you'll stop.
There you go.
All right, let's move on to our girl Zadia, because Zadia has been the only person that has not sent her keeper home yet.
Right.
That's cute. Zadia has not sent Cam home. Their relationship, or they're getting to know each other, I think it's probably been the most successful, because at least they're getting to know each other, as opposed to start, stop, start, stop, start, stop.
Right.
A lot of people have been saying that he was trying to let her go over the last few weeks. And I'm not gonna lie, from what we're seeing, I do agree, just because I feel like he tried to give her several outs.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, he blatantly said it. Yeah. I think good, or that I'm pretty sure the show has something set up for he's saying it. But let me ask you this. Did she have a better option?
No. But I think with her, I think she does like him though.
No. I believe that.
I feel like with her, I don't know. Because at the end of the day, you could talk to, you don't never know these people. But I don't think that she would keep somebody around just because she didn't think there was a better option. I think she would just be like, I'm fine saying I didn't meet anybody. I think Vernisha's the same way. But I think that she really likes him, because I'm judging this based on how she looks at him. And
I you're right. I believe that. But I believe that if a better option came along, she would have.
Yeah. I hear you. I agree with that. I think if a better option came along, they got limited playing potential. There's not a lot of guys that are going to come on the show and really be successful and really be serious.
There you go. But they might have time. So what do you want?
I want people to put in the chat tonight. Like, what is more important to you as a woman? Time or financial stability? Like, would you rather a man be very, very well off financially, or give you more time? You got to pick one, and do not put in the chat both, because I know y'all. Okay? Do not put both. I will say for myself, I would rather have the financial stability than a lot of time. I will say I'll go first and be honest.
But let me ask you this: if you're already like you're more financially stable than he is. You have more than him. Is it still a factor at that point to time?
Yes.
I mean,
for me,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
speaking for myself because when I met my husband, now I was financially stable, right? I've been, I've been single for a long time. I never had a man pay one of my bills when I was single. I had people offer, but I just always felt like that was something else. So I didn't need financial stability, but for me, that's the way I define provider. Now, I didn't have a certain amount, but I needed it to be somebody that I felt like I like the fact, and when I got married the first time, my ex-husband told me, you don't have to work. You can work if you want to.
right.
I like the way that feels, but I always work. I'm not a woman that won't work, but I just like the fact of a man saying, I got you.
Need your
My
money.
job is to take care of you, but you can decide what you want to do. And that's the same exact thing my husband said to me when I met Adrian. He said, I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to take care of the bills, take care of everything. Whatever you decide you want to do is up to you. And I will, I'm not the type of woman that wants to put all the load on him, but I like him. I like that feeling of this is what a provider does. So for me, I still would rather have the more financial security and less time.
So it'd be acts of service over quality time. I'm asking.
Yeah, I really just like gifts. Gifts is my love language.
Okay. Hey, nothing. Hey,
it is. It's my love, but it doesn't have to be super expensive gifts. But I like thoughtfulness.
Okay.
That's more. So my love language is that way. Now my husband's love language is definitely quality time. So that's a struggle for me sometimes because I'm like, I bought you something. I don't mind tricking off on him, but I'm like, I got to go to work, and he's like, I do. I think it's
just get off on your husband.
I do. I trick off on him. It's fun. But he doesn't appreciate that. He would rather have me put my phone down, turn the computer off, and spend time. That's his thing. So we're just different in that, but now I'm not saying I don't like time at all. I'm saying if I had to pick between the two. So for me, if there was a man that was like, Christal, I just love you. I just want to spend time with you all the time. We don't have to worry about, I'm sorry, y'all. My daughter's dog is amped up. Ace, what's happening? I would rather not be in that. I don't need you to be up under me. I'm not a clingy person. Right. I don't need that.
Okay.
But I can be honest about that. So I just want to see from the women in the chat, what do you see as your priority? And I think it's important to know which one is your priority, because you cannot pick both and all the time. That's not realistic.
Priority over love language, or is it the same? Is your priority different than your love? Is that the same thing?
No, I think your love language is how you receive love.
Okay.
So for me, gifts is my love language. So I like to buy gifts and I like to receive gifts.
Okay.
But I like to buy. That's why I'm being silly saying I trick off on it, but I do like to buy him stuff. You know what I mean? That's how I show my kids, my friends. I always buy people stuff or do stuff for them that I know that they really like, but I'm not a person like, even my girlfriends, I'm not going to sit on the phone and talk to you all day, every day. That's just not me. But will I do something that shows you my concern? Am I there if you need me? Yes. But as far as just all day, every day on the phone, I got to go to work. So I have to have friends that are like me,
Okay.
So what about you? What about with women? I wonder, what is the equivalent of money versus time with men?
It's not really. I think that's a great question. I think if a dude is money, then you should that should raise an eyebrow.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. If a dude is concerned like where you work and I think you should raise an eyebrow with that.
Yeah.
Because most men in general really don't care.
The one that you want, or he's using you. He's trying to figure out how to use you.
If you have a busy woman, let's say a woman like you and the women that you're around, y'all are entrepreneurs and you're busy, and that woman gives you your time, or cuts this off or puts this down phone, and she was like, you know what, I'm making this. That means the world. You know what I mean? And if you have a woman that's her life is, I meet women and their life is dictated by their friends. And like, you know what, I could have did this, and they don't necessarily tell me, but you find out later. Well, I'm like, well, how come you didn't go with that to them? They was like, I wanted to be with you. That means more to me than anything else, because you can't get that back. You can replace the money, all that stuff, but the fact that you're spending your time with me means something. When I like you, that really means something. So I would say,
which one? Somebody that can cook you an amazing meal and loves to cook for you,
right?
Or freak in the bedroom. Which one?
God damn it!
You cannot say both.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna need the bedroom.
So don't complain when you don't have those meals. And y'all out there, y'all men, stop complaining when these girls
I can cook for myself. I'm one of those dudes. I don't really. It's nice. I would, I can cook for us, shit. But the other part, I can only do so much for me. If you catch my drift. So I mean, come on, because I've had women that could cook and then wasn't too great in the other department.
You found yourself.
Oh, when I was younger, I found myself cheating. Yes, I was a big old cheater. Yes. Yeah.
What would you do now? What would you do now? Because do you need a freaky woman now at 52?
As freaky as she can get in my age bracket, I would like that. Yes. You know how hard it is to leave a freaky woman? Why do you think these dudes be, when you see the woman that scratched this car and did all this, and you be like, I can't see why you still with that crazy girl. That be why. Because he doesn't want to be.
There was a girl that you had that had a special talent. We won't say what that talent was.
Yes.
And that girl was a hot, just nasty attitude. Her voice sounded like fingernails on a chalkboard, and you could not let her go.
But she did, she had a talent that at that time I'd never seen before. But since then, but it was a hard thing to like. I like that. I mean, she didn't bust my windows or nothing. She just had a nasty attitude.
Very nasty attitude.
But, yeah, I stuck around for a little too long.
Didn't she try to do something to your car? She tried to take your car or something?
She tried to, but the judge was like, who would give you the way the car was, and the judge was like, ain't nobody just gonna give this to you.
Yeah.
And he did.
That was wild. Well, I got to get out of here. Now we're going to be back Friday. Remember, we're going to be back here Friday with pajamas.
Please wait, don't be having me and Christal up here look crazy. I might give out
pajamas and wine. And I think we're going to start about 10:30 so that everybody can get into their pajamas. Now, going. Huh?
No bonnets.
No bonnets?
Yeah, I'll block you if you got a bonnet. I'm letting y'all know.
You can't block them, Mo. You cannot block them, but y'all don't bring the bonnets. But we're going to bring on at least 5 people to give their comments. Now, when you come on, you're going to have 5 minutes because, some people will come on and want to talk the whole time. So we're going to open it up after we finish talking about, because this episode is going to be crazy. We're going to open it up, invite you guys up to talk, get to know some of the listeners. So make sure that you got yourself together. It's going to be a good time.
We really are.
It's going to be a good time. I can't wait. 10:30 Friday. I'm gonna put the flyer up, and so everybody can put the kids to bed, because this is gonna be whole conversation, adult conversation, Now don't come in here with your lingerie with your titties out, okay?
Yeah, hey, don't. Even though I would love
areolas up. Put the areolas up, because I know there's gonna be some ladies trying to entice Mo, and I got y'all's back. I'm just saying, no areolas, no areolas.
Damn it. Yeah, we don't want to get Christal's channel shut.
Yeah, we don't want to shut the channel down.
Yeah.
But it's going to be fun. So I will see you Friday.
Yes.
I know you're going to have a robe on.
Yeah. I got something.
All right. Well, we're going to get into it. You guys watch this episode so we can really get into it. Watch the episode. You cannot come on unless you have your pajamas on and you have to watch the episode.
There you go.
All right. We love you guys. We will see you Friday at 10:30. Make sure that you're subscribed so you get the notification. We ain't playing no games. Come in your mood, set your candles, whatever. We're gonna have an adult conversation and recap the show. There we go.
Go have fun, y'all.
All right, we'll see y'all Friday. Bye.